10 things most humans can't do. Human bodies are weird. We can train them to do various things like bending in half and touching our toes, but there's some stuff that most humans can't do. It could be as simple as rolling your tongue to twitching your nose. In today's video, we'll be talking about 10 things most humans can't do. Find out if you belong to the elite group of people who can do the impossible by watching till the end of this video. Make sure you hit that bell icon and subscribe to our channel before we start. Number 1, roll your tongue.
Push down and push it back. See?
Back in kindergarten, you might have gathered in the playground and tried to copy the cool kid who could roll their tongue in half. Or maybe you were the cool kid. Either way, you would have noticed that not everyone on the ground could do it. These people can thank their genes for giving them intrinsic muscles to pull off the trick. Rolling your tongue falls into the dominant trait category in simple Median inheritance. If you think that's amazing, wait till you find out that there are some people who can pull even stranger tricks, like folding their tongue into a clover leaf shape or twisting it upside down. Some can even make 3 folds. Unfortunately, there's no learning this one. Number 2, wriggle your ears. You might have seen a rabbit move around its ears, and then you might have tried it yourself, only to discover you're not a rabbit. As simple as it sounds, many folks cannot wriggle their ears, unless they belong to the select 10 to 20% that can. As for why that is, well, it might have something to do with the fact that muscles controlling your eye are the same ones controlling your ear. That's why when you look left or right, your ears move the slightest of watts. Swallowing has the same effect. Because of these, it can be hard to wriggle your ears. The same goes for being able to twitch your nose. Rabbits can do it, but we're not a little white furball. On the other hand, Elizabeth Montgomery was one, or more accurately, a witch on the famous show Bewitched, who could twitch her nose. There might have been lots of kids who tried to copy her, only to discover the cold-hearted truth. But there's no need to get so sad. If you want to wriggle your ears or twitch your nose, you could do it by putting in some training. Number 3, lick your elbow. You could bend your elbow and stick out your tongue, but you can't lick your elbow. It's just completely impossible, even though it sounds pretty easy. Don't believe us? Well, why don't you try it out yourself right now? You can make an effort with different angles and keep at it for hours, but we assure you, you'll reach the same results. Unless you have a smaller forearm and a large tongue, you might have some chance to do it. You'll need a lot of flexibility and considerable dedication as well. Many people out there want to belong to the select few that can pull off the trick. It certainly does a good job of putting you at the center of attention when you can do it. Number 4, touch your nose with your tongue. At first, touching your nose with your tongue might sound like something doable, but if you try to do it, you'll find out just how wrong you were. There's only like 10% of the global population that can do this. It's known as Gorlin sign, and it actually indicates that you're suffering from some connective tissue disorder, specifically the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, or otherwise known as EDS. The disease can affect your joints, blood vessels, and skin. Along with translucent and elastic skin, you might experience dilation of blood vessels that can rupture if you're not too careful. Number 5, raise one eyebrow. You might have come across that one picture of The Rock where he's raised one eyebrow. The meme culture online sure loves it, but one thing you might not know is that not anyone can pull it off. Only about 30 to 40% of the population can actually raise one eyebrow. If you're wondering why you can't do something as simple as raising your eye, we have the answer. Researchers have found that only one muscle controls both these movements. People with the muscle on one side disconnected can, in fact, raise their eyebrows. You might have tried to raise your eyebrow if you've been watching so far, and you might have had to admit defeat. We weren't lying now, were we? But there's no need to be so disheartened. If you really want to raise one eyebrow, you can train yourself. After all, it's just a muscle. Number 6, sneeze with your eyes open. You can try as much as you want, but you cannot keep your eyes open when sneezing. We can't ask you to sneeze on command to test it out at the moment, so the next time you sneeze, remember to notice whether your eyes are open or not. You'll find out that it's the latter. Why is that, you ask? Well, it's because the cranial nerve links both the nose and eyes. So when you sneeze, the nerve impulses your eyes to automatically close. It's actually a protective reflex. If you sneezed with your eyes open, they could pop out. There's also a chance for all the pollen and dust you're sneezing to get into your eyes. That sounds disgusting, and we're sure no one wants that to happen. So if you really want to sneeze with your eyes open, you can wait for old age. You'll be able to do it then without the danger of your eyes popping out. Number 7, bend your thumb backwards. Bending your thumb backwards sounds pretty impossible, right? Well, that's because it is. The anatomy of the thumb just doesn't allow it. Still, there are some freak shows out there who can pull this off. It's known as the hyperextensibility of your thumb, or the hitchhiker's thumb otherwise. These small groups of people actually have a particular gene called the bandy thumb gene in their cells that lets them do this. These genes are passed from one generation to another, and inheritors are able to form a 90-degree angle across the thumb. It's not really a disease, and people can do their normal tasks without any problems. Unfortunately, those without the gene can't really learn this one unless they're willing to break a joint or two in the process. Number 8, move limbs in the opposite direction. Here's something for you to do right. Move your right foot in a clockwise direction and write number 6 with your big toe at the same time. We're not asking you to pick a pencil with your foot and try it, but just make the motions to write the number in the air. Now, if you pay attention closely, you'll notice that you started moving your foot in the anti-clockwise direction without your notice. You know the numbers made in an anti-clockwise direction. It simply happens because our brain is wired this way. Some people can keep their foot and toe moving in opposite directions. These people can thank their brains for functioning differently from the rest of the population. Number 9, Gleek. First of all, you gotta understand what gleeking is. It's the ability to shoot water out from under your tongue. The saliva comes from the submandibular gland under the tongue. It sounds pretty disgusting and unhuman-like. We know, but believe it or not, some people out there can pull it off. It seems like we retained something from our amphibian ancestors. Still, there's not much use for gleeking for us. Unless you're trying to impress the crowd at a party, you won't be impressed, that's for sure. Number 10, isolating your ring finger. You might have noticed that you can't isolate your ring finger. If you didn't before, you're more than welcome to try it out yourself right now. We were right, weren't we? Most people can only bend their middle finger with their middle finger or their pinky finger. Still, there are exceptions to the rule. There are some people out there who can, in fact, do this impossible task. It appears these people have a hereditary trait of sorts. And that's a wrap for this video. Do you know of any other unusual things that most humans can't do? Can you do any of this stuff mentioned in this video? Let us know in the comments section below. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos. We'll see you next time with another video. Bye now.